Hello, my DC friends. Richard S. here. It is FriYAY, Black FriYAY. This is kind of spur of the moment. I decided to talk a little bit about Black Friday Record Store Day and other good things. I hope your Friday was fantastic. Mine was pretty good. Mine was busy. I had to go, I had a Kallax fiasco. Let's start there. I wanted to get a new record storage unit because I want to replace this bookcase thing behind me with something a little bit more studio-y, which means I have to move some things around. So, bought a new Kallax unit from IKEA. Denver has a very nice IKEA. Let's just say that the pallet place where you pick up the boxes from IKEA, everything is all packed in boxes, was slightly misrepresented on what boxes were actually there. I wanted one of those, the big 8-box storage units that look like that. They're nice and rectangle. You can put them that way or this way. I like both of those. So I got what I thought was the right box, got it home, started putting it together. It was during Rob's Northern Revolutions live stream. And found about halfway through it two things. It was the wrong style of Kallax. It's one that has, it's a rectangular one, but the shelves are staggered in weird ways. And so I thought, well, I'll put it together and see if it's serviceable. Didn't take that long to put together. None of the Kallaxes do. They're easy to do. Anyhow, also finished it and went, okay, yeah, I'm not liking, there's no way I could use this lane this way, or this way is not going to work for records, definitely not. It had long middle shelves that were off-centered. It's very strange. And it was dark green, like greener, darker green, like forest green. I have black Kallax units, or the black / brown ones. That's what I have. Anyway, so this morning I had to take the whole thing back to IKEA on Black Friday. Yeah. I thought this was going to be a huge fiasco, but I got there right. They opened at 10. I got there right at 10. Got in and out in about 15 minutes and even exchanged for the right Kallax unit, which I put together this afternoon, and it's sitting in the other room. I got to figure out what I'm doing with all this stuff behind me. That might take a while, but okay, so that's the Kallax fiasco. Record store day. I live about, I could walk to my nearest record store, but it was like, 20 degrees this morning, icy and a bit windy. So I thought, you know what? There's only a few things I really want. Maybe I'll just pass on the standing in line thing. It didn't sound very fun. But so after I went to IKEA, I thought, okay, I'll drive by there on the way home and see what they have. Looking for 4 things. I'm going to why I actually forgot. I was looking to see if they had that Van Halen Live 1991 in Dallas. Looking to see if they had the U2 reassembling how to reassemble an atomic bomb outtake album, the Shadow album, I guess they call it. Looking for what's number 3? Oh, Helmet, Betty. This album. Did I have a CD that I actually revisited this afternoon? Couldn't find it at Record Store Day. I haven't found any place that actually has it yet. Hoping on this one to find it later, but it's a good album. Do I need it? Not really, but it does. It would be interesting to hear what this sounds like on vinyl. Anyway, and the third one that the other one that I actually forgot to look for was Stone Temple Pilots' Purple Outtakes album. Haven't seen that yet. I have no idea how much these were. Anyway, I did find. Actually, ended up buying three things. I did find the Van Halen Live 91 Dallas. This is a free show. I guess they had to cancel or something did not go right for Dallas that year, and they did a makeup show for free. I've seen video footage. It was kind of an interesting one because Eddie has a beard and it's very not rough looking Van Halen, but it was an interesting looking Van Halen. Oh, here they are. Hi. Yeah, I know, glare. But it's gonna help if I take it out. Actually, that helped quite a bit. So there they are, 1991. Sammy's looking very Sammy. Sammy was hefty in the 90s. He was slowing down quite a lot. Yeah. Not sure about that look, Eddie. There's Alex. There's Mikey doing their thing. It's a pretty good album. I only played half of it. There's some interesting parts where Sammy sounds like he's a little off key and could figure out what key they're singing. Um, okay. Judgment Day. Like, it's like, what key are you in? And it's like way up there. So he was stretching his voice up there. Runaround was tremendous off side one. So I've only listened to one side of that. It is excellent. Was it worth it? Yes, I think so. If you're Sammy Van Hagar, Van Halenite, aficionado, you could do worse. It's a good album. All right, put that over there. I did find. Oh, I was so happy to find this. I walked in, it was the first thing I saw, and I was like, yes, so happy. YouTube's how to reassemble an atomic bomb. Check out Edge. Rare bald-headed edition of Edge. This surprised me. This was the first thing I spun in when I got home and I was putting together the Kallax unit. My goodness, this record surprised me. It is really, really good. Some of this arguably sounds better than the original album. It has Beautiful Day on it and all that stuff. Picture of You, Evidence of Life, Luckiest Man in the World is a really good song. For some reason, the harmonies between Edge and Bono really stand out on some of these tracks. So I really, really enjoyed this. Second half, the second side, I Don't Want to See You Smile is a good one. Country Mile, Happiness, Are You Going Forever? Even from Batman, I thought it was going to be something else, but it was okay. And a different, kind of an alt version, maybe an early demo version of All Because of You, which doesn't suck. Um, some of these songs sound kind of dialed down from being productioned up for a major release. I really think I'm starting to wonder if this should not the original album shouldn't have been a double album and included some of this stuff. It's really really good. There's a poster in here of this, and it's that big. It will not hang on my wall. No, I don't do posters. Do you wonder why? But very good, very very good. Fairly essential. If you are a YouTube person, highly highly recommend hunting this down because it is well worth it. There's been a lot of kind of YouTube record store day things that I didn't bother with. I was just like, no, I don't think so. Or they're like 12-inch singles and they cost stupid money. Yeah, I still haven't bought that Zeropa Outtakes live thing. It has like 5 songs on it and it's $25 on vinyl. Like, no. I don't even know if I want it on CD. I want to stream it first. I should really do that. All right, what else? They did not have Betty. I asked, they said they only got like one and it sold right away. I'm gonna look elsewhere for that. But oops, hold that. Not that one. They had the Jazz Dispensary release And I'm actually really glad I picked this up. I picked up a few jazz dispensaries, this one called the Golden Hour. Check out, first of all, get a feel for the color scheme on this. Okay, gold, very gold, kind of oceany. Check this out. Whoa, gold, laced, marble, blue, seafoam, green, vinyl. It is gorgeous. It's also one of the better jazz dispensary albums that I bought. I've had a couple that were kind of out there, avant-garde type jazz. This is more, bop style jazz. I enjoyed this a lot. So this will get some spins. Picked this up mainly for the friend Rollins that's on here. Who do we have? We have Hampton Hawes, Johnny Hammond Smith, Sonny Rollins, Matt Addersley, Dean Ammons, Vince Giraldi, Little Birdie, a very nice version of Little Birdie. I have the Happy Anniversary Charlie Brown CD that has a version of Little Birdie on it. I think I like this one better. It's a little bit toned down. Chico Hamilton and Catalyst. Yeah, jazz dispensary was a good pickup. So hopefully I can find Helmet. Hopefully I can find the Stone Temple Pilots one. Let's see. It's record store day. At one point I was just thinking, yeah, I don't need to spend the money. I won't go. My birthday's next month, so I figured I deserve it, right? I think so. I also deserve this. Beer O'Clock, Alaskan Amber. Cheers. Happy Friday. Hope your Thanksgiving was good if you celebrate that. Oh, that's nice. I need that. I've been running around all day. Guess what album finally showed up on my doorstep? This is so good. This is easily going to be somewhere in my top 10, if not really close to the top, if not on top. It is that good. I had ordered, just after it released, there's a 2 LP um,
Did I mute myself? Oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Sorry, I was talking about the Cure. Getting this. Love this album. It's beautiful. It's ethereal. It is emotional. It's profound. It's a wonderful album. And Nothing Is Forever is my absolute one of my favorite songs I've heard all year. I know people whine. It's like, oh, the Cure, they have these long interludes and build-ups and long instrumental openings. You know what? I don't care. I come for the atmosphere when it comes to the Cure. I love them. Anyway, this came. I was very happy about that. So I can include that in my top 10 something or other. What else do I need to talk about? Not a whole lot going on. Let me get my little invitation out for anyone who might want to come and chat, play, and all that good stuff. Copy. Did this work? Yes, it did. If you want to come on up and chat, I would be grateful for it. Or you can stay in the comments. That's fun too. Discovered revisiting my Betty Helmet album on CD that I've forgotten how nice it is to just throw a CD in the player and let it go. It's very nice that way. Is this off? Maybe that's what happened. Let me check. So let me do settings here. Audio. Check 1, 2. Okay, my microphone is working. I'm just doing my default on my audio. So my mic / speaker thing must have blown its battery. Let me plug you in. And we can talk more. All right, what's going on out there in VC world? We'd love to hear if anyone did record store day today, if you found anything good. Before I came here, I was on an auction out of West Virginia. They were auctioning a lot of their leftover stock. They didn't have the Helmet album either. Bear with me. I'm trying to plug the stupid thing in. Hopefully that will help. Charge, maybe? You doing something? Yes, you are. I get a feeling I left that on and it charged itself out. I'll put it there. I'm sorry if my sound is terrible. It probably is. I'll talk as loud and clear as I can. There, that's better. What else? I finally played all 5. It's FBA! FBA! Woohoo! Good to see you, man. What's up? Not much is up. I'm sorry I can't join your live stream tomorrow. But if you want to come up and chat, feel free to. Stick my little thingy in there. We're just talking about record store day stuff and what I picked up. I didn't pick up much. I talked about that already. I don't know if you saw that. Live streaming. I feel like every time I do a live stream, it's like relearning how to do a live stream all over again. There. All right. I only bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Beatles box set. I didn't want the whole Beatles box set. I didn't want to pay $300 for it. But the sound on these is absolutely stunning. I had really forgotten how good Beatles 65 is. Whoa. What an album. No Reply. I'm a Loser. Babies in Black. It's like kind of a morose side 1. No Reply. I'm a Loser. Babies in Black. Rock and roll music. I'll follow the sun. Mr. Moonlight. One of my leads. I know a lot of people love that song. I'm not a big fan of Mr. Moonlight. Or that cheesy organ right in the middle. Honey, don't. I'll be back. She's a woman. I feel fine. Everybody's trying to be my baby. A lot of these songs I also don't remember. It's like I need to go back and revisit all of the early Beatles on the British editions so that I can understand them better. Don't know. Something new. I love the album cover. It's so cool. It's so neat. Things we said today, anytime at all when I get home. I'm just really astounded with the sound on these. They're just wonderful. All right. I think this just turned off. It's a problem because it thought I was in Deadland. I may have to boot this off and try again. Sam, can you hear me? I'm having all kinds of crazy sound issues. Sam, good to see you, man. Talking record store day stuff. I did not buy much. Not much at all. Do I have sound? Sam, I'm trying to figure out. Sound on loud and clear. Good to know. Thank you, FBA. Yeah. I have like this little mini soundbar thing that has a mic on it. I think it turned off halfway through whatever I was talking about a while ago, and it gave me a sound warning. It was weird. Always good to see you guys. So I was talking a little bit about Beatles stuff. Whoops, wrong one. Loud and clear. Good to know. That one. Okay. Yeah, the sound on these is spectacular. I'm also glad to get these for the cover art because I think the cover art on the US editions is so cool. Despite all the moaning, people, it's like, it's not the same as the British edition. No, it's not. And that's because that idiot that was with Capitol. But some of these track lists are pretty interesting. Roll Over Beethoven, Thank You Girl, You Really Got a Hold on Me, Devil in Her Heart. Money and You Can't Do That on side 1. I mean, they packed a lot of songs on the side. Ooh, Sam's watching the new Beetle doc. I can't talk today. It's been a long day. I was putting together IKEA stuff and doing returns and all kinds of horrible yuck. But absolutely loving anyone that's saying, oh, they're full of filler. I see nothing on this vinyl. It is gorgeous. No filler, no nut. I don't know what Mike Esposito was seeing on his Beatles box, but I'm not seeing that on the individuals. So I'm glad I got those. I might cave and get Hard Day's Night. I'm not a huge fan with all the little extra bits and bobs on there. But, yeah. But I wanted to delve a little bit into, like, best things I've found. So we talked about what I found for today. We talked about The Cure finally coming, thank God. Kallax, Fiascos, and Beatles. How about some of the better things I've found on Record Store Day? Chime in if you found anything interesting. I remember my first record store. I've been going to Record Store Day for a lot of years. I did not go to the first one. Pretty sure I went to the second one. And I was going to pull the album that I remember buying because it was a Pavement live album. And it was in an interesting sleeve. It was almost like a fold-over sleeve that wasn't a full wrap. And the record just kind of sat in the plastic with the sleeve. I can't even describe it. But it was a pretty decent live pressing from what I remember. I don't think I played it a whole lot. But, yeah, some of those first few Record Store days, some of the pressings were kind of wonky and not the greatest. But so be it. This was one of my, I would say, prized possession. The Dingo Hand Job REM live set where they book themselves as under a different name. Yeah. Double album, amazing track list. And kind of acousticy. So World Leader Pretend, Half a World Away. The One I Love's on here. What else? Disturbance at Heroin House. I love that song. Belong, Low, Love Is All Around. You Are the Everything is a good one. Swan. My God, I love that song too. Perfect Circle, Endgame. Pop Song 89. Losing My Religion. I think it was just after this they did this album just after that album came out. Get Up and Moon River of all songs. Yeah, Bingo Hand Job. Glad you got this one because I don't think I've seen this sell for stupid money. I'm not giving up my stuff. It's not happening. I try when I can. It's harder now to get stuff from England, Record Store Day stuff. And yeah, I should have pulled my Loop album too. But I remember gagging to get Biffy Clyro's Puzzle album on vinyl, and it came out Record Store Day. Let's just make up a number. 2011? I don't know. This okay, so 2007 this album came out. It was 2015. They did a Record Store Day edition of this. Pretty sure it was what it was. Horribly expensive, and I didn't care. Probably cost me close to $50 to get it from wherever I got it, but I was so glad to get that one. And another one, you know me with shoegaze, guys. Chapter House, Roundabout. It's a 4 album. Hang on. 1, 2, 4 album set of early EPs and outtakes and remixes and demos and stuff. This got put out early in Chapter House discography on the CD, but didn't ever get a vinyl release until this came out, and it was Record Store Day. Limited edition of 1500. This is number 109. Ooh, nice. Music on vinyl, too, which is generally pretty good. Huge track listing of songs on here. It's one of those ones where it takes all day to play. Can't remember if this is on colored vinyl. Let's take a look. Yes, it is. Gray Marble. I can't remember if all of them were like that or if they were different colors. Let's find out. We got time. Got some info in here. Hang on, they're stuck. Not a gatefold. It is, yeah, they're all gray marble. Very pretty. Now, funny story about this album is that after I got it, about 2 weeks later, maybe a month, I got another package from the same record store, and it was another copy of this. Like, they didn't inventory that they had sent it to me, and they sent me another one. So I have 2. Shh. It's okay. I'll keep them. We know how to job. It's a good one. Now, you know me with obscure British groups. This album by a group called Cherry Ghost. Lead singer in this band has a really interesting voice. Very keening is not the right word, but it's not distracting, but it's very interesting. Beneath This Burning Shoreline, someone recommended this to me years ago, and I bought it on CD, and then one year it came up for Record Store Day. Of course, only in England. I always have to look at both lists to see. I have to look at the UK Record Store Day list and the US one, because there's always little quirky things. And always, for me, it always veers better on the UK side. It's like, why don't I live in England? I don't know. Anyway, I managed to get this one first time on vinyl. I can't remember what year this was. I'm looking, hang on. Originally released in 2010. So good. I love this album. Released on vinyl for the first time. I can't remember. But beautiful album. And then the year after that, we got a live Cherry Ghost album. And I've never seen this anywhere else, ever, except that RSD release live at the Trades Club, Hebden Bridge. I don't even know where that is, but it was fantastic to see that. So I have, it just makes, this is what makes record collecting interesting for me. It isn't just having classic albums, it's having interesting and unique albums, and those definitely fit the bill. What do we have here? Okay, Catherine Wheel is one of my shoegaze aficionados, and their singer Rob Dixon did a solo album called Fresh Wine for the Horses. Everything's falling out here. Let's put that over there for a minute. Monolith of an album. It covers 4 sides, 3 sides or 4 sides. Oh, it was 1 CD and then acoustics. So that's what this is. But absolutely beautiful album. A little bit more introspective than the harder hitting stuff. There's a version of Black Metallic on here that's like one of Catherine Wheel's signature songs. Rob Dixon's Fresh Wine for the Horses. Interesting thing about this one, I thought this was going to be an instant sellout, and it really wasn't. And I've seen it go for pretty cheap here and there. Oh, this is that one. Oh, no, it's not. I thought it was one of those weird ones where one side of the gatefold only works. Orange vinyl. Very nice. Rob Dixon. Oh. Solo shoegaze. Is that a possibility? Not really. It's more of a dialed down one. Oops, that fell out. What is that? Oh, wait. I was glad to get this when it came out too. Imagine John Lennon in the raw studio mixes. Let me get Sam's comments. Currently watching Beetle Doc. Where is it? That one. Boop. Hide. Sorry, Sam. Raw studio mixes of Imagine. And that's exactly what it is. It's sort of a dialed down version of the Imagine album. It's very, very nice. And it's, basic black vinyl. Label is very similar to the album, the original album. But black and white. Fitting, because it's a little dialed down. That's quite nice. I was glad to get that one. There's something else in here. What is it? Credits, info sleeve, probably mixing notes. Who knows? Ooh, a poster. I don't remember this. It tells you how often I visit. When you have like over 2,000 records, getting back to stuff you haven't listened to in a long time or opened is revealing. What do we got here? War is over. Hopefully we never have another war. State of the world, who knows? But that is a good find. I don't recall how that one sold. If it was a big seller, flew out the door. Talking to one of my record store people that keeps me in the loop on like what's coming up. And I was mentioning that I was asking, so there was a Grateful Dead release today. How's it doing? And he said not as good as they usually do. He thinks that people are kind of burned out on these massive, huge Grateful Dead box sets and Jerry Garcia this and that and 5 album whatever. This was another box set that came out today. And I'm like, who has room for all these? I know I've seen some of us vloggers, if you will, that have entire storage units that are just Grateful Dead. And I'm like, that's a lot of Grateful Dead. And it adds up. It's not cheap. So there's that. Another one I was really happy to have was when Geddy Lee's solo album came out on Record Store Day, and I grabbed it. I might be the minority on this one, and not because of Geddy Lee's voice, but I like this album a lot. It grew on me. Lyrically, it's not Neil Peart writing, Geddy Lee doing instrumentation. Geddy Lee did everything pretty much on this album. But songs that grew on me, like The Present Tense, The Angels Share, Moving to Bohemia, Home of the Strange is a rocker. It's a really great song. So, extension of the Rush catalog. But I was really, 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 really glad to get this one when it came out. There's a poster in this one too. I don't even remember that. Nope, just standard black vinyl. Oh, the labels are different on each side though. Get some light in here, please. Yeah, we can't see that too well. But the flip side has kind of the album cover art. That's very cool. 2 albums, just sprawling thing. I think it's 33. I'm pretty sure that. Why can't I get this back in? I don't want to put it away. I'll put it away later. All right. And a couple more, and then I'm probably going to wrap this up or talk a little bit about some of the not turkeys. Sam, I love that thread. That was a fun one. This was another one I was really happy to get, being a huge Husker Du Bob Mould guy. Husker Du's not final, but the album that kind of took them over the edge towards Husker Du's demise, Warehouse Songs and Other Stories. For me, it's a great album. It's a sprawling double album, and it was sprawling when it came out. It's sort of almost the antithesis of Zen Arcade, where everything was hard-hitting. This was not cookie-cutter Husker Du, but dialed down a bit. It just has the sound, but it has a bit cookie-cutter-ness feel to it. But that being said, there's some great stuff on here. Standing in the Rain's fantastic. Ice Cold Ice is on here. Could You Be the One? That was a single. I remember that one from MTV's 120 Minutes. Friend You Got to Fall is probably my favorite on this one. It just has that jangle guitar thing going on. It just drives me crazy. Love it. Bed of Nails. I'll Tell You Why Tomorrow. I remember that one. No Reservations, my absolute favorite song on this one. And I've seen Bob Mould a lot, solo shows. And he's done No Reservations, both acoustic and electric. And it is fantastic to watch and hear that song. Beard Sips, gotta have them. This one is unique for being, it was delayed. It was due on record store day and hardly anyone got it. So it was one of those ones that showed up 4 or 5 days late, and everybody who wanted it got it, and the rest of them sat. So I probably could have got this for a lot less than the $34 I paid for it back in the day. But that's not the purpose of this. Very green. Very, very green. It looks yellow on there, but I assure you, that is green. Quite green. I used to have a poster of this album cover. A big promo poster, the whole length of this. This is one of the albums that I have an original of that is framed and hanging on my wall in my living room. My living room kind of looks like a record cover, album cover art gallery to a point. Not all. All right, let me see if I can put this Rush record away without hurting myself. I got 3 viewers. Woo! Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Us vinyl nerds have to stick together. Drink beer. Shoot the hell. What? You said you were watching a Beatle doc? What new Beatle doc? What's it on? It's probably on a channel that I don't get. Like Hulu or something. I don't get Hulu. I did before. Oh, these are the records from my One Side is Fantastic. The Richard McCook thread. And I kept them out because I had some questions about some of these albums. I love this album. It's so good. Screaming Blue Messiahs out of England. I want to say they had 3 albums. And I wonder if I could grab the others. Bear with me. Hold that thought. I'll be back. Do I have them over here? I don't know. Yeah, I do. Well, I have one. I thought they had more albums than this. What do I know? This is Bikini Red. I don't remember this one being nearly as good as Gunshy. But in fact, I don't think I picked. This is my original from back in the day. So this came out in 86. So that's the first original. This is probably your original, but I got it at like a record fair for $2 or $3. It was like, oh, I think I'll try another one. That is one thing I have dialed back doing with record collecting. I'm trying not to become a completist just to be a completist with artists. Another example of that would be Big Country, where I could easily go out and buy every Big Country album that was ever made, but I'm to the point where it's like, I want to keep the ones that I really like. So thank goodness for streaming services, and I can look at all those. Let's scroll that down a bit. This album is fantastic. I could have easily said that both sides of this are strong 100%. You play both sides regardless. Another original version because it has a shiny cover that they only did like one round of, and then they went to more of a matte cover. But 1983 was the year I graduated high school. Yeah, I'm not old. I played this to death. Just for In a Big Country. It was like one of my. When I do karaoke, I don't do karaoke very often. I used to for the longest time up until about a year and a half ago. In a Big Country was one of the songs I loved doing. And I had another karaoke song I did off of this album. April Wine. Canada! Woohoo! Another group. I'm not going to go down the completest route. But I have their Harder, Faster and this one. And that's all. No, and I have Power Play. The album, I think after this, that was okay. But yeah, I didn't want to go down the completest route. My karaoke song off this is Just Between You and Me. And yeah, I got to do that one line in French. I don't speak French. But I love the cover art. Actually, that's my problem with this album, is that the cover art doesn't match the intensity of the album. The intensity of the album is not, it's like lightish on the wimpy? No, radio friendly. They're not Def Leppard. I think they want to be Def Leppard, but they weren't. A group that I almost am a completist with is The Cult. This was my intro to The Cult, especially Sanctuary. She Sells Sanctuary is probably one of the best songs of this era ever. 1985. Gosh, it seems that it didn't. It feels like it came out longer ago than that, but it did. Probably another song I heard on 120 Minutes and went, yeah, oh my gosh, I have to go get this. Great album. All of side one is just killer. Nirvana, Big Neon Glitter, Love, Brother Wolf, Since the Moon, Your Time, sorry, and Rain, Hollow Man. That's good. But She Sells Sanctuary. It's just classic. How much Cult do I have? I have 3 different CD box sets. The Complete Cult, Rare Cult, and another one that I can't remember what it's called. And then when they revised, like this one I have on a CD deluxe set, and yeah, a couple of others. I have Sonic Temple deluxe CD. So yeah, my collection is not all vinyl. It's about 2/3 vinyl, 1/3 CDs. That's all the CD buying we did back in the day. Where we got time wise? We're doing great. A couple people, Brian at Embryonic Vinyl had not heard of this album. This is an interesting one because they were a one and done band. They did one album. I think they tried to do demos for a second album, and it just never happened. So they did one album. It's just so well produced. It sounds big. But it's not a like rock album. It's almost Americana-ish in a way. Well, let's put it this way: like West Virginia Americana, where it's kind of like there's a lot of drugs and domestic violence, and yeah, it's gritty. The lyrics are gritty, but the songs are strangely up tempo. So you're dancing along and you're talking about, yeah, it's a little cringe in a way, but the songs are just fantastic. Ain't So Easy is so good. And FBA wants to come out, bringing it up to the stage. The one, the only FBA. Woo!
Hi, Richard.
How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. You?
Good. Hold on. I need a drink too.
It's water. It's only water.
I have that too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in my running around today, I was turn that up. After I went to IKEA and did you hear about my IKEA fiasco?
Not sorry. I was doing.
Okay,
like
well,
a lot of-
I started out my stream talking about how I went to IKEA on Wednesday and bought a new Kallax unit
Mhm.
and got it home, put it together. It was the wrong color and the wrong design. I didn't even know IKEA did dark green. What? So I had to take it back and get the right one. So that was kind of a pain in the ass, but it worked out.
How far is that? It's like 2 hours drive from your.
Oh no, I live in suburban Denver. So like here's Denver. I live over here, and the IKEA is like south. So it's like 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes from my house.
Just like myself. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about the suburbs. You can zip in, get things done, and get out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When I lived in DC, it was harder. DC's IKEA is way outside of DC. It took about an hour to drive. So, but I love IKEA.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, when I moved to Canada, we were like every week there. It was like at the end of COVID 2022, so because of the shortage, we had to come back. It was all a nightmare. So, but it's cheap, it works, and
it's functional. And
it is.
If you're trying to live sort of a minimalist style of life, IKEA is where to go. It's just simple function and form, and inexpensive.
It is, yeah.
So, did you get out for record store day today or no?
Nothing. Yeah, I was really busy at work. Plus, I'm still absorbing all the purchases I made in Den Bosch.
Oh, I forgot. That's right.
Yeah.
Spend
too much money, and it's not only about the records. It's the trip overall. The accommodation, the food there, the beer with friends, the whole package.
Right. Well, plus you saw family in France too, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that's the point. I spent like 10 days after Den Bosch with my family and friends in France. So no one had any record players, so turntables. So I had to wait to come back over here.
I have to drink because I can't play records.
Yeah. So now it's fine. I get almost 35 records. So now it's fine. I listen to all of them, and but I'm still absorbing. But no, I didn't buy any record for a record store day or Black Friday, whatever, Thanksgiving special offer. Nothing.
I didn't plan on it. I looked at the list and I went, yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you saw, but I did get the Van Halen live.
Yeah. Which year? Which year is that?
It's 1991.
So it's with Sammy Hagar, right?
Yep. It's the Van Hagar era. It was right after For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge came out. So I guess what happened was they had a huge concert planned in Dallas and it had to get canceled. And I'm just like, ugh. So they said, we'll come back. We'll do a live show. And or makeup show rather. And that's what that was. So, I think I've seen it, like snippets of it on MTV or YouTube. But
Yeah, I get the feeling I was a little bit younger. I was born in '86, but I had a feeling that in Europe they were not that big that much throughout the late '80s, early '90s. Van Halen, they were still big in the US probably, and
mm,
Bon Jovi was the complete opposite. Bon Jovi they were huge in Germany. I
oh,
remember in
really?
the '90s. Yeah, in the '90s they were still like at the top. Like
That's interesting. I
yeah,
mean, for me, it was like, Slippery When Wet, and then Bon Jovi just kind of went, bye.
no.
That's interesting.
In Germany, they were huge. Even Volkswagen, they name a Golf model after Bon Jovi.
That's
Yeah,
funny. And I got that U2.
yeah.
This is really, really good. It surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I went to my local, I could literally walk to my local record store from my house, pretty much. It's about a mile and a bit. And I just, on the way home from IKEA, I was like, oh, we'll just stop and see what they had. They had Van Halen, they had the U2. They didn't have, I wanted to get Helmet, um, this album. Where did I do with it? Oh, here it is. This one, Betty
Helmet.
by Helmet. And I love Helmet because they're like, industrial. And this has more of a grunge flavor to it. But they didn't have it. Oh, yeah, we sold out. I'm like,
So I don't know. Is it like the first 9 Inch Nails something or compare?
similar. I would say it has that. I would say more Soundgarden than Nine Inch Nails.
Okay.
To me, this album sounds very much like Super Unknown from
Okay. Yeah.
Soundgarden. So yeah, it has that funky big drum sound that just kind of punctuates every line, and yeah, that does that. I was playing this afternoon, trying to decide if I really need to hunt this down on vinyl, and I'm going, yeah, I probably would like to hear this on vinyl. I'm trying to stop doing that because it's too expensive.
Yeah. I know.
Then the other one that I picked up today was the Jazz Dispensary album. Hard to see what that is. It's called The Golden Hour.
Yeah.
So it has Hampton Hawes on it, Johnny Hammond Smith, Sonny Rollins is on here, Nate Adderley, Gene Ammons, Vince Giraldi. A Little Birdie version. It was really different from what I've ever heard before of other Little Birdie. Chico Hamilton and Catalyst. And I played this. I was like, wow, this is really good. I took a chance on this one because I've had a couple of other Jazz Dispensary albums and they're pretty good. So I said, why not?
Yeah.
Why not indeed? So what was your live stream tomorrow going to be all about?
Oh, it's a German guy named Timo, and he's very big in Germany. So he likes the guy who manages the German vinyl tag like every year. Very into gear, like hi-fi equipment. Cover all the exhibition in Germany, and I met up with him last May when I took my first trip to Europe. So we had a chat together on a small record show in Germany, and say, hey, look, maybe you can maybe be a part, be one of my guests, one of my live stream. I like to bring people together.
Sure.
Since I speak 3 languages, but it's not that easy because it's much more easier to convince a guy from Canada, UK, or US, to come over in my stream. But a French guy or a German guy, because of the language, is not always that easy for them. And I don't blame them.
Oh,
But
no.
Yeah. But he accepted.
A lot of German people I've known are fairly comfortable in English. It seems like bilingualism, particularly in Germany, is
they are. He said, okay, doing a 5 minutes video where I can prepare myself, it's fine. Maybe a stream. Wasn't sure at the beginning. So we talk, and and then we had this conversation about last month. And I said, okay, once again, would you like to accept the challenge? And he say, okay, yeah, why not? So here we are. But yeah, the time is not right, because I know it's Thanksgiving in the U.S., so lots of people they cannot making themselves available, which is well. So, but it's fine. So it will be maybe another friend from Australia will join my panel, and yeah, we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see. Yeah.
I love it when there's like, yeah, you get these live streams. There's like 8 people on the screen, and they're from everywhere. It's almost magical. You get Toyota, the Tokyo guy,
Yeah.
who comes up on like Rachel's Ghost or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. But,
Yeah, because when I did watch Steve, he did pretty much the same, like inviting people. I think he got like Trevor and Marsha P together, and I thought, yeah, it's a good idea, because so many streams are always the same people, the same family, the same great gang of friends, which is absolutely fine. But I had this contact with the French, I had this contact with the Germans, and I had UK, Canada, and I
sure,
thought, okay, why not inviting people together from different backgrounds and finding a sort of common ground, and yeah, it works
it's a
sometimes.
great idea. Yeah, I'm wishing that Trevor and Marsha P had kind of kept that ball rolling with
Yeah,
the thing. But they weren't. I don't know if they weren't confident about it, but I would sort of like to gravitate towards that. As my confidence builds with this whole between live streaming, it's easier when you have someone else to banter off of.
yeah.
When it's just you versus you. But I mean, I've been playing this game for 2 months, so
Hey, and you do it great.
thank you.
Absolutely. No,
As
yeah.
are you.
I think that there is no rules, absolute rules that like we have to do like this or like that. It's only listen, speak with your heart, the music you're into, and yeah,
Exactly. And the nicest thing is that you're talking to people that want to talk about this topic. It isn't trying to talk to a relative about, oh, I went to record store day, and they're like, that's nice.
yeah, yeah. That's the point we all have in common. I think we were like experiencing the fact that we are music lovers, pretty much having this passion like alone or at school, but when you graduate at school, you're in the real world and no one cares about music any longer, or few people. And then you find these amazing things called internet, the VC, and hey, they are other people just like myself. Yeah, yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
this is the magic for me. It has to be music focused. I don't do
Yeah,
drama
stop
on my
veering
stream.
off on politics and
Yeah,
sports or whatever.
no.
That loses my interest really fast too.
We can deviate 30 seconds, no worries. We make lots of joke with my French French friends. It's not a problem, but it has to be music focused, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the vinyl community, not the vinyl sports and politics community.
Exactly. Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Cooking. Oh, we can do beer and vinyl. Beer and vinyl is fine.
Beer and vinyl is a great idea. Yeah. Hi, Alex. If you watch later. Yeah.
It was funny is when I was trying to get my courage to come up and start doing my own channel. I searched to find out if there was something along the lines of beer and vinyl. That's how I found out about Alex's channel. It's
Yeah.
like, oh man, he took the name. I thought I was going to use beer and vinyl or something to that effect. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, he's already done it and he's doing it well.
Totally. And he's a great guy. I met him up with last summer at MGK's party. It was really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
What was the trigger? What made you decide to say, okay, now you were like watching, following all of our streams like diligently? What was the trigger? When did you just say, okay, now I start my channel?
It was actually, I would say that 3 actually. It was between Rob at Northern Revolutions, Alex at Beer and Vinyl, and Emma, 8 Vinyl Love. as far as like, I was trying to wrap my head around the technology and what you need, don't need. I have hearing issues, so I had to kind of work around that too. But then, and plus, I'm a retired teacher. So during quarantine, I was doing this because I was doing teaching on Zoom and all of that. So it's just, well, I could do it then. It's 5 years later. It should be just as easy as it was. And more or less, that's kind of how it happened. I just figured it's like, okay, well, I can do this with my laptop. I can use this with my phone. I could figure out. It was figuring out the platform more than anything. Because YouTube as a consumer is one thing. YouTube as a content creator is a very different animal. Yeah, and like editing, I still haven't got my head around that. So I really just fly by night. And if I get into editing, maybe the production value will go up over time. But is it necessary? I don't know.
Well, there are some channels, especially in France, they have a lot of editing, cuts and effect, and wild boob cut.
Yeah, it looks like an MTV show or something. It's
yeah, and to me, it's the content that matters at the end of the day. And okay, I spend like 4 hours watching a dude like on YouTube showing his skills. I use the DaVinci Resolve, which is perfect, and I watched the 4 hours. Like, no, now I know how to use it, but probably still use 5% of them. Of the functions, and
Right.
it's fine. It has to be clear, and it has to be it has to be simple, sharp. But I know editing is a topic. Yeah,
it is, and then, I remember doing my first video. I was kind of, you get that nervous energy type thing where you just feel like you're failing. And then the feedback that you start getting is like, wow, it's really good to see your channel. And I'm like, okay, maybe that didn't suck as bad as I thought it did. It boosts your confidence. And you just keep going forward.
yeah.
So,
yeah. So now you are like how much 125 or 26 something?
I think it's 125. Yeah, I mean it kind of, it'll go jump up and then it will just flatline for a while. But that, I think that's the norm.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I think I feel like 125 in a couple of months is pretty damn good.
No, it is absolutely. No, it is. I think I stuck with 150 about 3 months something at the very beginning. I wasn't promoting my channel. I didn't use I still don't like Facebook or Instagram or something. Right. And it's really when some people invited me on doing live streams that sort of hit the spotlight on my channel and helped to grow. But I'm not looking to have 1 million of subscribers. Doesn't
matter. I'm not in it for that monetization. No. If it happens, great. I probably wouldn't know how to figure out that whole. That's a whole other nightmare in and of itself.
Yeah. In a perfect world, having the right people around, the right friends, the one you can share a beer with one summer, like you did with MGK, Brian, and Jack, all that gang.
It's funny though that I guess there's a number of VC vloggers in Denver. I know of 2, maybe 3 of them, but I'm not going to say they're social animals. They're the type that will go to the record fairs. We have a couple in town. They don't have them very often, and I don't go to them just because I find them kind of extortionately expensive. And record fairs in general, it's almost like going to the most high-end specialty shop imaginable.
Yeah. Okay.
You're walking into an elite group of vendors that are selling exactly what you want, and they're going to charge an arm and a leg for it. So I would rather go to the stores that I know that generally sell things in great condition, but don't, break your bank account.
How many decent, or let's forget about the word decent. How many record stores do you have in your surrounding area? Where
Denver Metro has a lot of them. There are some that I don't even know who or where they are, but the biggest one is Twist and Shout, which is downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Wax Tracks is kind of down the street from them. They've been around forever. I remember I shopped at Wax Tracks and Twist and Shout in the 90s. So, and they've been around before that. So they've been around for a while. I have the one that's near me is a kind of a chain of 2 or 3 stores called Angelo's. They're okay. They're on the pricey end for me. It's like, oh wow, here's a copy of like ELO's Out of the Blue, and it's $24. I'm like, no, and that's used. And they also I feel like they tend to price things according to how much they think they can get for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much what it might be, truly worth. But yeah, now that classic rock used is big, they charge $14 for a Journey album.
Stupid.
I'm not doing that. So I would rather go downtown, but I don't. I used to like going downtown. Now that I'm older, I'm just kind of going, don't want to drive all the way downtown and fight traffic and parking and all that good stuff. But I'm also retired, so it's like, oh, it's Monday afternoon. There's nothing going on. I could go downtown at 1:00 in the afternoon to go shopping. So there's that. But I would say there's probably maybe a dozen, 12 decent record stores in town, but they are very like there's one there, there's one over there. Yeah, and a lot of them are in downtown in weird places. So.
Mm-hmm.
But how about you?
Pretty much the same. Montreal is like population, I think 2 million on an island.
Yeah, I know downtown Denver it's like 500,000, but the metro area is several million, if not 3
Yeah,
million.
it's not a million. Almost 2 million people.
Wow.
And probably a decent 10. Yeah, let's say pretty much the same. And I'm talking about independent record dealer, not the corporate, HMV or Noble and Barnes.
I don't have any of those. We used to have a Tower Records, and then Tower Records folded nationally, and we had a Virgin Mega store downtown once. Gone.
Okay.
So the corporate ones, we don't have any, so they're all independent.
No, we have some chains. We have some HMVs now back at Toys R Us. They put it back.
There were Toys R Us. That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. You walk into a Toys R Us, and between toys and dolls, and you now have manga's book and vinyl records. Pretty surreal, but it's
records. Yeah.
And no, it's pretty cool. Montreal. We're not far from Vermont, so where I gotta go very often. So it's pretty nice to live over here. Toronto is not far. Montreal, it's like let's say 15 to 12 decent places to go record shopping. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I grew up in North Dakota, about 100 some miles from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I've only been to Winnipeg like twice in my life, and I remember it's like, oh, this would be so cool. It's such the big town for me because I come from a college town in North Dakota. So, but yeah, I mean, growing up in the 80s and into the 90s, living in a small town, I'm surprised what I was able to find growing up in a small town. Getting the Smiths and Gary Newman and all the stuff I got into in this teeny little town. It's like, you have The Queen is Dead. Thank you. Good. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
It was so neat to buy. That's the other thing. Being my age, it's like I not just grew up with that stuff. The stuff that people are looking for now are the things that I originally bought. And I'm like, oh, I have that. Oh, I have that too. And it's not bragging. It's just, I just have it. So
it's like Joy Division. I think they are people over here who are into music in their 40s. They don't know much about Joy Division here in Canada because they were not big enough, or the career was that short. So people are not aware about just about the name, but it's weird
Mhm.
to me as a European. Is wow, it's Joy Division. It's like
Yeah, and Joy Division were, I mean, coming out of the UK, I'm sure they kind of hit it big, Europe, and then got bigger in the States, and then Ian Curtis was gone.
yeah,
So just too short lived. But
yeah. But Martin Hannett produced some bands, some French post punk bands, and yeah, we knew about Joy Division Heritage and New Order after that. So, but yeah, it's funny the difference between Europe and America. Like
it's striking. I've been to London more than a few times, and
okay,
I'm just flabbergasted going to London and going record shopping. What you can find is just stunning.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's okay. The first time I went to London, I wasn't into vinyl, into records at all. So 2016, and I loved the city because I was into music, so no question about that. Then I came back 2019, just before COVID came along, for record, and I found it was really expensive, very expensive everywhere, like Soho or the Reckless Records, that the famous place. Only in old Spitalfield Market. It's a flea market sort of
Mhm,
things. Then I was able to find some records affordable price.
mhm,
But then I made other trips, like in the UK, in the countryside, and it was amazing. It was simply amazing. People friendly, places everywhere. You don't pay that much for park your car 5 minutes, but you have to go. You have to dive a little bit deeper in the
for
British
sure,
countryside.
for sure. I mean, now you can
Yeah,
talk to anybody about London, and prices are just extortionate on anything.
yeah,
Well, I belong to a couple of like London pub and beer type groups, and they're forever going on. It's like, oh, I went to this pub and beer was £9 a pint, and there's some guy from like Shoreditch or something, or some little hamlet outside of Oxford. It's like, oh, we get that for £2.80 here. Like,
yeah,
jeez.
yeah. I know. Yeah, yeah,
It's true in Denver. Denver is pricey town for the most part, but I outside of, especially in the United States, the record stores are going to be in larger towns.
yep,
So
yeah.
if I leave Denver and I go up to Fort Collins, which is a college town and about 1/10 the size, I'm sure there are 2 or 3 record stores that might be really good. But then I got to go all the way up. Yeah. I'm not the big traveler I used to be. I've been to London 6 times, and every
Wow, would
time,
you?
yeah, I was just like, I want to go to London and spend a week or 10 days or whatever it was. And this is like in the early 2000s. It was really cheap to go.
Yeah,
What
okay.
what made London unaffordable for me was after the Olympics, and the prices in London went whoosh just because of the Olympics. And I don't think prices ever came down.
20,
Accommodation, hotels
2012.
are
Yeah,
extortionately expensive now. So
yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think yeah. After that trip I took to London for records, 6 months after, I went to Edinburgh in Scotland, and was like, wow, a gap.
oh, the
Every
difference, yeah,
The difference is huge, and you can find those records UK press the very same, but you pay 45% less. So
sure, it's crazy.
it is,
But
yeah.
we're I mean, could you find what I would call lower end stuff at Den Bosch, or was it mostly crazy bootlegs and hyper expensive mo-fi edition?
Everything. We had a discussion with a guy. We hosted a live stream every Sunday morning on a French channel with a stunt rock confusion study. And we have this guy. He appears like every Sunday, and he's only goes to flea market, thrift store. Pay every record is not much than $5 or $10. We
Wow,
say, hey, in Den Bosch, you could find your happiness as well. You're looking for a Grail 200 to 2,000 euros, whatever, dollar, whatever. you can find in Den Bosch. 80s heavy metal, €10, $10. You can find in Den Bosch.
Good.
It's the hugest thing I have ever seen. I'm not
I've
even
seen pictures
exaggerating.
and I've heard stories, and it's just like I can't fathom how huge this place must be.
It was huge. I was there 2.5 days. There were more like 700 vendors, so 700 booths, every genre from every countries, new, used, metal, jazz, classic rock, folk,
Hmm.
everything that you can imagine. So yes, you could find pretty much everything in Den Bosch. Plus, when they go there, they only bring the good stuff.
Exactly. They're not going to bring dollar bin stuff. So
Yep, yeah. So yeah, as a record collector or music enthusiast, whatever, it's something. I know it's when you live in the U.S. or in Canada, you have to pay it's all the package, the plane, the whole trip. But I think once in a lifetime, it's worth it, definitely.
I'm very tempted, and
Yeah.
being in my retirement position, I'm going, it's in April, next one, I think.
Yep. April and November, as some say. I don't. My buddy studies say, yeah, April is fine, but November is better. November, they had time to go digging in all summer, and
Yeah, that makes sense.
might be better, but
It
yeah,
might be.
yeah,
But it's November.
yeah, and November in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Cold,
Yeah,
wet, rainy. Yeah, gross.
yeah, rainy, foggy. Yeah,
All of
uh,
it. But it is tempting. It's one of those like, put that on the list of things to consider travel.
yeah.
Bosch, boom. But yeah, somebody went to it was Micah Esposito went to Utrecht, and he actually was a vendor there. And
Okay.
he took, I don't know how he got stuff over there, but he got a table at Utrecht, and it was like in the back corner, but he was vlogging from there, and it's like, this place is freaking unbelievable. It's just so huge. But I guess the table they put him was like near a bathroom over here, so he had tons of foot traffic. So, but yeah, interesting. I can't imagine, but it would be fun. Now, and then we have our bigger record fair here is in
Austin, the one in
no,
Austin,
we have
Texas.
a Rocky Mountain Record Fair that's downtown.
Oh,
It's fairly good size. I mean, it's not 700 vendors by any means, but it's like 70. So it's like 1/10 of the size of Den Bosch.
yep.
But again, it's like the record fairs that come here seem to have vendors that are so specialist in what they're selling that they know that somebody wants that first edition pressing of Black Sabbath, but they have boxes and boxes of that kind of stuff. And I'm not paying $125 for a record. I won't do it. Call me cheap. But I'm also at a point in my collecting where it's like, I have what I want. They always ask you, what are your grails? What are you looking for? It's like, I'm not really looking for anything at this point. I'm just looking for interesting things that I might want to pick up. So no, I'm not going to come out of a record fair with a stack like this. I might find 4 things and call it good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, that record fair in Austin, I would love to go to that one too. I've heard
Yeah,
good things.
Austin and the other one in the WFMU in New York.
Oh yes, the
Yeah.
one that Concert Buddy went to. That
Yeah, and my buddy Dom Seeking a Shred. Yeah, but this one was like hell, like week before than Bosch, so I didn't manage to go there. Yeah,
you get to a point where it's like, I'm record faired out. I can't go to anymore. No, stop.
yeah. No, but yeah, no. Then Bosch is really is exciting because I could find something there that I could never have imagined. There are stuff like from private collections. There were people from Scandinavia, and and in those countries they are no pressing plants, so they were like it's only import UK press stuff. And sorry, frog in my
No.
throat. And yeah, and I could find, for instance, just brought some copies. Yeah, such that this is a Vertigo UK press. Um, this is a early 70s UK band, typical. And you don't find such stuff in here in Montreal. You know, this kind of stuff, folky with some country elements. You know,
Right.
early 70s Vertigo Islands. You don't find such stuff at a reasonable price. But yeah, there were these guys who came all over from Norway or Finland, whatever. And yeah, they had this crate and say, yeah, this is private collection, and all records
Wow.
were like, yeah. So which you don't find on Discogs, you don't find here in Montreal on regular record stores. So yeah, going to record fairs could be worth it for such
It could
stuff.
be, right,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
if you're looking for those niche types of things. My
yeah.
question for you is, how did you? I mean, I say that my scope of interest in music is pretty expansive. Yours is probably like 3 times more expansive than mine. How did you get to that point?
That's
I know
a
that's a big question.
yeah, that's a very good question. I started talking about the progressive music, prog rock, on my channel. Pretty much the big names: Genesis, yes, Gentle Giant. Now I moved gradually to more obscure, heavy blues, psych stuff, and those records are not easy to find. Definitely,
But
and I don't pay.
how did you even find out? It's like, oh, there's this. How did you find out about that record or that one? It's like me
Oh,
with shoegaze.
yeah,
I can't find shoegaze stuff around here very often unless it was sold and pressed in America. To find like obscure bands from Manchester that only put out 2 or 3, if they put out one album. Paris Angels is a great example. So Paris Angels was kind of they only put out one album, several hits. They were part of that kind of Manchester scene, Manchester Happy Mondays type stuff. I found out about them just on a lark on a YouTube video, and I was like, "Wow, that's really interesting." Then
yeah,
you start that's how I find out about weird little things.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was like, I've been following weird YouTube channels. They upload like really rare stuff as well. Particularly one called Rarest Records, and I bought some books. Digger guys, they just wrote some books with some ultra rare or rare records, heavy blues, psych blues. You know, bands they were like doing one album and disappeared in the UK, and such stuff like that. So yeah, like, or spending hours and nights on YouTube discovering this kind of music. So yeah, by all means, discovering, getting to know this really rare stuff from 72, No One Cares, or Akarma, the Akarma label as well. Akarma is a good example. This is an Italian label, and they made some great stuff, like re-releasing some of these obscure albums in the early 2000s, but they were not always fair, like saying, hey, we will be pressing 500 copies, and they did 2000 at the end of the day. So was it like bootlegs? You know, but yeah, all means, or discussion with other people on the internet, on the
Yeah,
VC.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was like, I mean,
yeah.
when the internet, I didn't really get into. Well, I was an AOL person. That's how far back I go. I was doing
Okay.
AOL dial-up with the modem hookup and all that crap. And my feelers were starting to get on like this blog or some newsletter type thing that I would find out about, like, the weird Gary Newman stuff that I never knew about or whatever. But it's just interesting kind of see, like, you've been on YouTube much longer than I have, I think, right? How long have you been on YouTube?
On you, having my own channel,
Either way.
2023. Yeah, 1.5 year. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But following VC channels, like commenting before I had my own, probably since 2018 something. So watching Dylan or other people, yeah,
Yeah.
Dylan is a perfect example. Dylan introduced me with so many obscure, great stuff. Yeah, perfect example.
Yeah. So I've only been on YouTube for my 2-month thing. As far as like passively with a VC focus, I would say for me it's only been about maybe 2 years. And the live streams to me are within the last year. This is a new phenomenon for me, as far as like, oh, I didn't know people did this. I
Yeah,
think people made videos and they showed videos, and that was pretty much it. The live streaming was opened up a whole new
yep, yep.
avenue.
When I started my channel, I started the channel 1 year after I moved from France to Canada. First year I didn't have any time left for
You're busy.
leisure stuff, very very busy. And 1 year after, I had some time in my hands, so I said, okay, now I'm continuing buying records over here. I have my European perspective experience, whatever. So how about starting a channel? But VC live stream were already a thing back then. I remember like Rachel or other people like within the StreamYard
Rachel's
and
been around
Germany
for a
as yeah, exactly. So it wasn't really something new to me, but for people like Fred, for instance, my buddy, Big Star 1000, he lives in Australia, a Frenchman just like I am, but he's been, yeah, 20 to 23 years of Australian.
while. Wow.
He started his VC channel 15 years ago, and
Wow.
yeah, one of the very first, yeah, video maker
Wow.
talking about records. Yeah, really. And he said it changed the deal when they were able, because back in the days they were doing thread. It was the only way they could respond, do some sort of shit chain or VCLT or yes thread.
Right.
But now with the StreamYard, with the live stream, it changed the deal, the way we can interact. And this is a fantastic
So
tool,
easy. It's just boom.
and it's free, and I mean,
Exactly.
and no one has to download any software or program, and it's free. And we could do much more. This is what I try to do in my humble, shelf. Uh, we could do much more, bringing people together, because they are some people talking about the same stuff as we do.
Right.
We don't even know about.
Yeah, it's almost frightening. And no, but then
Yeah,
there's logistics. That's the hardest thing. It's like, yeah, wouldn't it be cool to have somebody from like Japan, New Zealand,
yeah.
you, me, someone in, I don't know, Mexico or whatever. The logistics and timing and all of that's
You,
hard to pull off.
you were talking about the Olympics. This is what the Olympics do, with the sports, bring people together. Uh, but we with music, with records, you, me, people from the UK, people from, you say, from Japan, pretty much the same. So
Wouldn't
I
that be
think,
a trip to go to like Tokyo and go record shopping?
oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
And there is this guy. He has a channel over here in Montreal. He's Olivier, the Vinyl Lounge, and he once said to me, "Hey, we could organize next year, because there is this small record show here in Montreal, um, October." He said, "Hey, how about inviting our VC friends over here?" I said, "Yeah, why not? Could be an idea." So yeah, we could do so much more. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's also the struggle of adulting in this day and age. You get, I'm single, so I don't have a whole lot of things holding me down from doing that, but people with family and this and that makes it tricky. But it would be nice if it was just a way to branch out.
Yeah. And what else did I find in Den Bosch, for instance? This is a copy I've been on the lookout for years. You probably know this guy, Rory Gallagher.
Yeah.
This is his former band Taste, called Taste.
Okay.
Incredible blues from the UK. You remember probably the Groundhogs or Cream or Peter Green era Fleetwood Mac. This is really really nice. Yeah, blues with some jazz elements. Like he played the saxophone on his song, believe it or not, or Mr. Rory Gallagher. And yeah, this artist stuff I found there. So yeah,
just it's like, yes, how do we pull our little VC community together more over time, slowly? It's like the Rolling Stone gathers no moss. Just keep plugging away at it. Well, what am I up to? Oh, I'm up at an hour and a half. I should probably go eat something because I haven't eaten much today. But anyway, so Americana say, I'm so happy I jumped back in for that great FBA speech.
it wasn't a speech. It was only a conversation I had with.
Conversation.
But thank you.
We talked about what we talk about. We talked about music.
Yep.
Not politics and arguing and that's where I like Rachel's Ghost as an entertainment vehicle until it starts. Everybody's just jumping and attacking, and it's like, okay, I'm done. I could watch it for about an hour, and they're interesting.
Yes, they are.
They are.
Yes, they are.
There are people who are the voice of the reason, and the people it's like you're just here to egg people on. So be it.
It's part of the life, the politics and all. But it's not there. When I'm hosting a VC live stream, okay, let's talk about music. Let's talk about records.
Right.
There are other moments in life or places on earth or whatever.
It's like the reason I don't watch commercial news is because of the politics and the BS and the arguing and the political left versus right. I don't know if I necessarily want that in my entertainment ventures too. So I try and going, okay, I can handle this much of that, and then it's like, okay, you've lost me. I'll watch something else. But oh well, so be it. All right, FBA, my friend, it was very good to see you. I'm sorry I can't join you tomorrow, but
no worries. Let's do another time. There are plenty more opportunities in the future. I'm sure.
For sure. Yeah, it's like, no, who knows? But you take care. Have a good weekend. I'm gonna.
You too. Enjoy your long weekend. Thanksgiving. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. You take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. You too. Take care, Richard. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.